I came across this footage while I was just going through Facebook tonight. So I've just put a few of the things that I've seen on Facebook tonight and put them together in this little video. Happy watching!
I am now live. Awesome. So earlier I was kicking back, chilling, thinking about a couple things, and I had like an oh my god moment after, doing some research, of course, as well. I've got with me my little board that I've been doing a lot of research and stuff in, including my notepad right here, which, well, I mean, I'm sure if I take this and see how I could do this. Oh, here we go. So this is like my little notebook that's full of basically all of my. I'll just skip through all of this real quick, just for people to come and join in. A bunch of different research on some physics, trying to understand some different stuff right here. Free energy, little equation back there. Bunch of different stuff right here. So yeah, anyways, I've been doing a lot of research and stuff. And here's my current stuff right here: frequency, energy, vibration, just some drawings, really, some how energy really is supposed to flow, which I believe I have another thing about the flow of energy right here. Paying attention to Foria apophasis on Facebook, as well as scientifically, those guys know some things. But anyways, this is the Mamba Jumbo right here. This is what I'm talking about electricity. And so my elements, as far as creation, everything that I've come to, frequency, vibration, energy, yes. But then you have the electromagnetic, the electric and the magnetic. You got the ether, the time. You've got darkness, which was before anything, before there was light, before there was anything, there was the darkness. Times 3, of course, because you have dark matter, dark energy, and then something that I personally call dark fluid, because there was the waters before there was anything, So anyways, and then of course force. So let's switch this back over right here. All right. I'm not that pretty, but at least you can see me while I'm speaking to you. So I believe that everything works off of vibration, because basically within me are organs. Within those organs are cells. Within those you've got molecules, then particles, then energy. And what is energy? It's vibration. Vibration creates energy. But once energy was created in the very beginning, once the first, utterance was spoken, the first word was spoken, energy was created, it's not uncreated. It just exists now. So you've got frequency, vibration, and energy. Without those three components, you have nothing at all, period. Frequency being the thought, the intelligence behind the vibration that needs to be tuned in order for things to exist at their specific harmonic frequency. So if everything is based off of energy and vibration, then everything is, and energy is electric. It's electric current basically. But electric current has, electrostatic has two components. You got electricity and you got magnetism. Minus one of those components is just magnetism, because you've lost the electric components. Now you've got electromagnetism. It's still electric, but it's now lost its electric component, its force, its energy. So now it's magnetism. this is where I had like that eureka, oh my God moment. So I've been trying to think, like, what is the opposite of vibration? Stillness, you know, stillness, right? And if energy always seeks an equilibrium, electrical current always seeks an equilibrium, and that means basically stillness. And with the way that energy flows, which I showed you just a second before, with the way the energy flows right here, like you've got the single, you know, bit of, like, say, photon, you know, it's got your energy right here, right? And it's got these vortices that flow inwards towards it at all times. It comes, you know, it's got the energy coming in towards it, so that way it's, you know, energy. It's the flow of energy in the ether. And then it expels it out, and then it comes in. Now, this is it. You could see this yourself if you actually look up, like, scientifically. That guy on, it's a scientific space L-E-E. This guy on YouTube, he has like this magnetic thing that'll show you like the, you know, I can't explain it very well, this guy can. Anyways, the flow of energy. So if it comes in like this, then inside these vortices is an area of stillness, an area of, you know, where it doesn't move. It's an absolute stillness. And within that area, energy seeks its equilibrium. So one energy from an object to another energy from an object are going to come towards each other. Why? Not because of gravity, not because of that, you know, that pretend fake thing that everybody wants to believe in, but it's because energy seeks its equilibrium. It's seeking a resting point. And these energies and within these vortexes is that stillness. I believe that's what magnetism is. Magnetism is the opposite of vibration. It means stillness. And energy, aka vibration, will seek that stillness, be pulled towards it or seek it out. So in actuality, when you drop something, say like when I drop this, you know, it's not falling because of gravitational's downward force. No, it's the upward momentum of the energy, the electromagnetic energy from the electromagnetic or the electroradiation. It's the upward momentum of it. It's catching it, so that way it seeks that stillness. Magnetize, you know, gravitates, whatever you want to call it, it gets pulled towards that stillness, you know, energy meeting an energy. That's magnetism. It's the opposite of vibration. So with that in mind, in the very beginning, before light was created, before anything ever existed, when it was just darkness and you know, there was the waters all around, then that was magnetism to me, because everything was at a moment of absolute stillness. It was perfect stillness, perfect equilibrium, absolute. And then all of a sudden light was created, and now the balance was a little bit upset, you know. So what happened? The light was separated from the darkness, and now you have that equilibrium again. You got that energy always seeking out that darkness. It's not the darkness, but that energy seeking out that equilibrium, the stillness, magnetism. So you get a magnet, right? And when you're looking at it, when another magnet is being pulled towards it, that's why magnets, you know, the same attraction, they repel each other. You've got the positive and positive, they're going to repel each other. The positive and the negative, you've got those two separate, positive meaning a flow, and the negative meaning, you know, the opposite of the positive, obviously not the flow, the neutral. So you've got one attracting the other. That's pretty much what I've got, guys. I mean, that's my eureka, huge, big moment. You know, you've got in the beginning was the darkness and the waters, and I mean, to get biblical, because I'm going to, that's the way that I do things. If you don't like it, sorry. But in the beginning was the waters, and the Lord hovered over the waters, and it was darkness, and the darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Lord hovered over the face of the waters, right? So if darkness was over the waters, and the Lord hovered over the waters, then he was within the darkness. And then he said, let there be light. So what happened there? Well, there was a thought. The Lord had a thought. Frequency. And then he spoke. Vibration. Light. Energy. Frequency, vibration, energy. The three main key components. Without those, you have nothing. So without those, you don't have the energy, which you don't have the flow, which you don't have matter, you don't have heat or sound or any of that. I've been battling with a lot of people. People have been saying that it's sound is everything, you know, sound is light, and sound is heat, and sound is everything. No, I'm sorry, that's wrong. What sound is, what's happening is my vocal cords are vibrating, creating oscillations through it. Whoops. Sorry about that. My vocal cords are vibrating, creating oscillations that permeate through the ether here. And I'm not going to say atmosphere anymore because that sphere word, it bugs me. But it's through the ether, through the medium, and it gets collected by the eardrums, which converts that vibrational energy into knowledge that we retain. So I'm not actually permitting an actual noise out of my mouth. And when you see a rod, like a iron rod, and you vibrate that rod, and it starts to get around 20 cycles to 20,000 cycles per second, that's our range of hearing. So within that, that rod will start to vibrate. Now that vibration, you're not hearing that like you would think you are. It's not actually like, it's creating sound waves through the atmosphere that are collected by the eardrum. Why do you think the vocal cords vibrate? And the eardrum collects it. If sound was just sound and wasn't vibration, then what was the point of the vocal cords? So that's the thing about sound. You've got vibration will start, and then there's a moment where vibration cycles, and you can't perceive that basically. It's just energy. It's just energy at that point. And then once you hit about 20 to 20,000 cycles, you've got sound. When you reach past that point, then it starts to manifest into what we see as heat, or what we feel as heat. So now you've got two senses being affected. You got the sound, and now you've got the heat, because we're at the vibrational. This is a vibration. All the senses. Now, when vibration gets past that point, then it starts to manifest into light that we can see within our spectrum. And then you get past that, then you start to get into the visible spectrum of light. And then further on past that, you've got matter. Matter itself is vibrational energy. If you got a good enough microscope and you like really looked at the cells within your skin, you would understand like the cell within the cells are the molecules and the particles and et cetera, and then it goes down like to vibrational energy everywhere. So even matter is energy vibrating at such an intensity that it becomes dense. So vibration, frequency, and energy, people, that's like the three main components of everything. And it causes energy, which is an electrical current, and that electrical current has two components, electricity and magnetism. Magnetism is the absence of vibration. It is stillness. And electrical current always tries to seek its equilibrium or stillness. So two energies that have the vortices, which we've seen in all nature throughout all fractals, all the geometric shapes, all of that stuff, it all comes out from that spiral form, from that Fibonacci sequence, you know. So you keep following that point, you got the spiral. Within that spiral, just like the column within a tornado, there is a column of stillness inside that tornado. And then once you hit that threshold right there where it just becomes absolute torrent, that's the energy. And the energy itself, what does it do? Everything gets sucked into and hits the middle of until it crosses back out and then gets expelled, unless it doesn't have enough energy or momentum and it stays within. So all the energy and everything gets sucked into this vortices that's caused from the energy. And then it seeks the middle, which is stillness. And I believe that's what why does magnetism pulls things together? Everything seeks out. It's magnetism. It's not gravity. It's not the downward force. It's the upward momentum of energy of that vortice that's causing everything to come in towards it and seek that equilibrium, that stillness. So there you have it, people. If anybody questions you about gravity, or anybody questions you about the existence of frequency or vibration, what sound is, or any of that stuff right here, go ahead and share this video with them. Let them know. Upload this to YouTube. Don't care. Do whatever you want with it. I hope that you guys can use this to help better your understanding of gravity, of everything. And if you have any questions, feel free to message me at any point or time, and I will absolutely love to answer your questions. Thanks for watching, everybody.
I mean, I'm sure you already know December 25th has nothing to do with Jesus' birthday. According to the Bible, he was born sometime between spring and early October, but it was absolutely not December 25th. So then what is the reason for the season? Well, I'm glad you asked. It's most likely because in the year 336, the Roman Emperor Constantine was trying to do away with paganism and really make Christianity a thing. Well, at that time, the biggest ancient festival was something called Saturnalia. This was a festival celebrating the god Saturn that lasted a little over a week starting on December 17th. The ancient Romans chose this time to celebrate Saturn because it was during winter solstice, which is when the sun is in a very specific position in the sky. Now, we won't get too far into that, but listen, once you learn why Saturday is named after Saturn and why Sunday is named after the sun, and notice how most religious activities take place on one of those 2 days, a lot of things will start making sense to you. Anyway, so Constantine thought, since everybody's already celebrating at this time, I can just make this the day that we celebrate Jesus, and the whole world can make a much easier transition to Christianity. You gotta realize that at this time, most people worshiped multiple deities and were so-called pagans. Well, since Constantine and the Council of Nicaea were hell-bent on making Christianity the most powerful religion on earth, they just slapped their holidays on top of pagan holidays so the people could convert easier. Side note, the reason why Easter is always celebrated on a different day every year is because it's always the Sunday after the first full moon of the vernal equinox. Super pagan, nothing to do with Jesus' resurrection, nothing. Anywho, Christmas trees were used to decorate Saturnian temples, mistletoe was used by ancient druids because they believe it had mystical powers, and presents were given during winter solstice to celebrate the spring to come. Pagan, pagan, pagan! And you ain't even know it. So pagan, in fact, that Christmas was outlawed in the New World when the Puritans first got here because they knew how pagan it was. It didn't become okay till the 1680s when they realized that gift giving could be profitable. Speaking of pagan, what does that word even mean? Like, why do we act like pagan means devil worshiper? The actual definition of pagan is any person holding religious beliefs other than the main world religions. So in other words, anybody who is not Christian or Muslim. Words like that is how Christianity was able to take over the entire planet by creating a bad word for people who didn't convert. He is pagan! Kill him! Back to Christmas. Who is this guy? Well, it's Santa Claus. He's actually based off a real person named Saint Nicholas, but you probably knew that already. But did you know that Saint Nick was a bishop in the Church of Turkey? He anonymously gave 3 bags of gold to a poor family, and after that everybody just made up this legend about anonymous gifts coming from a guy named St. Nicholas, and Santa Claus was born. Now he lives in the North Pole even though he's from the Middle East. So that means that originally Santa Claus's gift giving was a noble act of helping the poor. But in the 1800s, companies found that it was far more profitable to make it about little kids, because of course people buy gifts for kids before they buy them for poor people, and so companies like Macy's started using Santa's name to make Christmas into a corporate capitalist fiasco. But here is the biggest point of this video. In America alone, we spend more than $465 billion on Christmas presents every year. Those are gifts for one day, $465 billion. Well, check this out. According to Charity Water, you can buy a well for $5,000 that will provide water for 250 people for 20 years. And according to Feed the Children, you can buy a meal for 300 people for $120. So if you do the math, $120 times 3 meals a day times 365 days a year, then add in the cost of the water well, you could provide 300 starving people with food and water for a whole year with only $136,400. So if we take that $465 billion we spend, we could feed 1,020,000,000 people for a year. Well, it gets crazier. According to World Food Programme's hunger statistics, there are only 795 million starving people on Earth. So that means with the money America alone spends on one Christmas, we can literally end world hunger for a year. Now let's take that one step further. If we just did away with the entire gift-giving part of Christmas, and every year we use the same money that we would have spent on presents to instead feed the poor, there would be no such thing as hunger, and the entire world would have food. Merry Christmas.